What if the people we trust online aren't who they seem? Imagine someone who appears kind, empathetic, even helpful. But beneath that mask lies a mind capable of manipulating the most vulnerable. In Japan, a country celebrated for order and discipline, one young man turned despair into opportunity. Using nothing more than social media, he lured people seeking help, exploiting their trust to satisfy a chilling desire for control. This isn't just a story about crime. It's a story about psychology, manipulation, and the hidden dangers lurking behind friendly messages. In the next few minutes, we'll take you inside the mind of someone who blurred the line between compassion and cruelty, showing how a seemingly harmless online interaction can spiral into something far darker than anyone could imagine. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear isn't just shocking, it's a cautionary tale that could make you rethink how you interact with the people you meet online.
Uishi was born on October 9, 1990, in Hachioji, a suburb of Tokyo. His childhood seemed ordinary, but beneath the surface, there were signs that his mind processed the world differently. His parents' relationship was unstable, and by his early teens, the family fractured, leaving Taka living with his father. On the outside, Taka appeared polite, soft-spoken, even friendly. Neighbors described him as a good kid, quiet but kind. But yet Taka developed unusual habits. In middle school, he engaged in a risky form of thrill-seeking, a game where participants pushed themselves to physical extremes. Although the game was outlawed, he continued privately with friends, seeking a sense of power and control in a world where he often felt powerless. By high school graduation in 2019, most of his peers moved on to college. Taka, however, entered the workforce immediately, taking temporary jobs to support his father. He struggled with the feeling of stagnation and craved independence, which later fueled his entrepreneurial instincts, but in ways that became morally twisted. In 2016, Taka discovered a niche, recruiting women for nightclubs through informal channels. It was dangerous and illegal, but the flexibility and income appealed to him. As he navigated these shadowy environments, he also honed his social skills, learning to read people, identify vulnerabilities, and manipulate trust, skills that would later serve darker purposes.
In August 2017, Taka moved to a small apartment in Zama, Kanagawa. Solitude suited him. He needed a quiet space to pursue his plans. Around this time, he began exploring social media more deeply. Twitter, at that time, was his tool. He noticed countless users openly sharing feelings of isolation, depression, and despair. While most would scroll past, Taka saw opportunity. He created an account with a mission. I want to help anyone struggling. DM me anytime. His bio promised empathy and understanding, a safe space for vulnerable individuals to share their thoughts. The tweets he shared offered advice on coping with anxiety and stress, but Taka's intent was calculated. Each post was designed to attract followers who might be easily influenced. One of the first people to reach out was Mitsuki, a young woman struggling with loneliness. Their conversations were initially innocuous, sharing life experiences, offering support, building trust. Taka's ability to mirror emotions and respond with precise empathy made Mitsuki feel understood in ways she hadn't experienced before. Soon, he offered her an arrangement: stay at his apartment under the guise of companionship and mentorship. Mitsuki agreed, unaware of Taka's manipulative motives. She provided financial support for the apartment, believing in the promise of help and friendship. For Taka, this was the first successful exercise in gaining complete influence over another person's life.
After Mizuki moved in, Taka's tactics evolved. He maintained an outwardly friendly demeanor, listening to her thoughts, validating her feelings, and subtly increasing dependence. It wasn't long before he faced a problem. The money Mizuki provided was insufficient for his ambitions. Panic set in. What if she demanded reimbursement or realized she was being exploited? Taka began to consider increasingly extreme solutions. His thoughts were dark, but carefully concealed behind a facade of concern. With each interaction, he tested boundaries, observing reactions, and learning how far he could push control without losing his mask of kindness. During this time, he expanded his reach, targeting other individuals who expressed vulnerability online. Each approach followed a similar formula: empathy, trust building, invitation to his apartment, and financial or psychological influence. What began as a scheme for financial gain slowly morphed into a psychological game of dominance, highlighting the dangers of unchecked manipulation in isolated environments. Although Taka's actions did not involve graphic depiction of harm in public records, the manipulation itself was profoundly damaging, showcasing the ethical gray zones that can arise when empathy is weaponized.
As weeks passed, Taka became methodical. He tracked patterns in behavior, refined his tactics, and developed an unsettling confidence. Each new individual who contacted him became part of a carefully designed process. Identify the vulnerable, establish rapport, extract trust and resources, then deepen dependence. Observers would later describe Taka's interactions as clinical. He maintained a meticulous record of conversations, meticulously planning his next moves. The routine he established ensured efficiency and reduced risk of exposure. His manipulation wasn't overtly violent. It was psychological, insidious, and slow. But for each person, the effect was profound: dependency, confusion, and emotional exhaustion. Taka's increasing control over others' lives demonstrated how a calculated mind could exploit human fragility, highlighting the hidden dangers of online anonymity combined with psychological acumen. The pattern revealed more than ambition. It revealed a growing appetite for influence. What started as a search for financial gain escalated into a compulsion for dominance, a subtle form of cruelty that remained hidden under the guise of guidance and care.
The first signs of suspicion came when families and friends noticed changes. Some individuals were missing contact, behaving differently, or withdrawing from their social circles. Authorities began to investigate after reports of unexplained disappearances coincided with Taka's social media activity. A pivotal moment occurred when a concerned relative, having tracked social media interactions, contacted authorities. Using the information from the accounts Taka managed, investigators were able to locate his residence and identify patterns in his behavior. When authorities arrived, Taka maintained composure, appearing cooperative and unaffected. Evidence collected demonstrated the manipulation tactics he employed, but without explicit physical violence. The focus of the investigation was psychological exploitation, online predation, and fraud, highlighting how modern technology can enable complex forms of manipulation. Ultimately, this phase of discovery underscored a vital lesson. Vigilance and awareness in online interactions are crucial, as even seemingly benign conversations can harbor hidden threats.
Taka Hiroishi was prosecuted for psychological manipulation, coercion, and fraud. The trial revealed the intricacies of his online strategies, emphasizing the importance of empathy, discernment, and education in preventing exploitation. Psychologists testified about the impact of online manipulation on vulnerable individuals, providing insights into the intersection of technology, trust, and mental health. In the courtroom, Taka's demeanor remained unnervingly calm. He acknowledged his actions without remorse, framing them as pragmatic solutions. The case concluded with significant legal consequences, including incarceration, highlighting society's commitment to protecting vulnerable populations from exploitation, whether online or offline. For viewers, the lessons are clear. Exercise caution in digital interactions, recognize red flags in relationships, and understand that not all help offered online is genuine. Knowledge and vigilance are essential defenses against manipulation. If this story gave you pause, consider sharing your thoughts in the comments. Have you or someone you know ever encountered manipulative behavior online? How did you recognize the signs? Subscribe for more stories that explore psychology, society, and the hidden complexities of human behavior. And stay aware, because online trust is a powerful yet fragile thing.